8. The Word. Far nobler than memorizing the myriad words within Scripture is the all-powerful Word that initiates quietude of mind. Far nobler than the most exquisite command of the language is one's astuteness in penetrating the all-knowing nature of the Word, thus permitting entrance to the gateless gate of the Aryan mind. Far nobler than weaving together inspired lines of poetic verse is one's faith in the marvelously transforming faculty of the unborn Word, hence assuring lasting tranquility. Far nobler it is to master one's self-essence than to celebrate victory over all falsehood. For the authentic bodhisattvic resolve will have indeed won the ultimate victory. The prize of the self-realization of noble wisdom cannot be usurped by the conniving whims of any devious devas or by the villainous and tempestuous tactics of Mara, the evil one. One can forever make offerings of incense and hope to gain merit through observing moral precepts. But far nobler is the path won by attending the numinous flame of Tathagatahood that perpetually burns within the sacred heart of suchness. To honor such an ancient and venerable flame is the source behind liberation itself. Far nobler than becoming immersed in unwholesome deeds through incalculable kalpas is one moment spent in deep samadhi. Far nobler than swallowing the accumulated habit energy of ceaseless avidya since time immemorial is one moment spent in recollective vigilance. Far nobler is one moment spent in determined recollective resolve than to waste one's time away achieving nothingness. Far nobler than rotting away in endless dukkha is that one moment of awakening to the deathless Dharma. Far nobler is one who sees with unborn eyes the way of deathlessness. Far nobler to dwell one moment in the now of the Word, beyond all words. 9. The unwholesome. Unwholesome thoughts are a hazardous venture. Left unguarded due to sloth, their ignitable nature will surely lead to acts of degradation. Be expeditious in stimulating the turnabout, which activates the antecedent trigger that initiates right mindfulness under all circumstances. Thus any further aggregation of dukkha is discontinued. Perseverance in the recollective resolve is paramount to inducing right action, whereby mind recalls that as animator of all animated phenomena, it has the authority to unplug all those unruly animations. Hence right effort is joyfully engaged, thereby avoiding any further regeneration of the unwholesome. Even the worldlings understand when their habit energy begins to turn sour. And yet, those noble ones committed to the tenfold path of liberation will still experience the pangs of karma until Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Choosing to remain indifferent to the effects of dependent origination only reinforces the wild spin of samsara. Minimizing the beneficence of noble wisdom circumvents the gradual maturation of the developing kotra. The Black Dragon Master shelters the progeny of unborn light with wings of incomparable wisdom, thereby draining their toxic reapers, personal forms, from creating further agitation. Hence, the true innocent and unwounded Dharma child is invulnerable to the attacks of defiled aggregated existence. Slander against the deathless Dharma of the Tathagata will open up the gates of Avicii hell. Others will replicate their shallow existence in the womb of this Saha realm. The eternalists with their notions of goodness and otherness will be reborn in a heaven of their own apocryphal design. The Shining Ones are absolved from further rebirth, as they savor the pure deathlessness of parinirvana. left to your own destiny devoid of the self-realization of noble wisdom. The weight of unwholesomeness will weigh you down as surely as the setting sun. Abandon all hope, as there is no sanctuary from dukkha. 10. Turbulence. Mind transcends the duality of being and non-being as well as all turbulent personifications of the triple world like the fear of death and the love of life. The barren woman dreams of birthing her child. The dreaming a mind lost in transmigration imagines birthing thoughts of ill will towards other imagining minds lost in the same transmigratory fantasia. Who is there to harm whomever? The same holds true for seeking such transient notions like happiness or inflicting harsh penalties through word or deed upon phantasmagoric personas, which are in actuality flashing impressions upon the mirrored mind that dreams itself into pluralized stenosis. The silent suchness of stillness resounds in unborn freedom as the mind's turbulence is quieted. Old man Death scythes the field of mentation looking for animated corpses, but his blade will pass right through the animating power of Bodhi. Anyone who continues to cling to unwholesome desires will be lighting their own funeral pyre. The pure and noble stature are immune from the ravaged turbulent mind, whose self-abasement is littered with every conceivable form of anguish culminating in a self-made hell. Excessive ascetic practices like sitting naked in perpetual meditation will not purify the bewitched mind from insurmountable doubt. Unhindered faith in the unborn resolve assures quietude of mind, thus ending futile exploration for the element of truth. Burning with recollective vigilance, the noble shining ones ignite the dharmatic flame that purifies the sordid remains of all dukkha. As accomplished artisans perfect their work, so do those perfected in noble wisdom transcend the tumultuous tide of samsara. 11. Decay. How can you rejoice knowing that minds are darkened with scandic contamination? Rather, remain steadfast in bodhisattvic resolve to help transfigure the created sphere with compassionate unborn light. An ulcerated doll, such is the temporal home of the animating essence, one whose stringy sinews soon slip away in a lonely closet of oblivion. Stuffed with fading memories, its frail and putrefied carcass collapses like a house of cards. The harpies, winged creatures of death, keep watch outside the charnel house waiting to feast on any residual morsels of rupakaya. The physical body, as their demonic laughter shrieks across the somber summer sky. Nothing more than a sarcophagic manifestation awaiting burial, such is the domain of the animated corpse. Not so the abode of the unborn mind, for its changeless essence defies the grave of defiled aggregated existence. Those stricken with the growing tumor of avidya are as good as dead. The eternal recurrence of painful rebirth is in store for those who have placed all their hopes, searching endlessly from the Creator God of their own vainglorious imagination. Divorced from the desire to find satisfaction in temporal manifestations of defiled garba, those noble warriors of unborn light have toppled the temples of false gods through one swift swing of Manjushri's imageless sword. The dark pool of the Alaya Vijnana is thus emptied, as the ravenous harpies are denied their catch. Sorrowfully yearning for the dead things of the past, one remains bound to youthful frivolity, thereby missing the ageless true nature of undefiled buddhi. 12. It. To thine own true self be true. In vigilant repose remain steadfast in recollecting its essential stature. Endowed with deathlessness, one is then prepared to help alleviate the distress of dukkha from others. The narrow entrance of the gateless gate of the Aryan mind is first gleaned only through a firm foundation in the unborn, that is the herald of imagelessness. The imageless eye of Tathagata reveals one's true master. All contaminated concepts are crushed beneath the great diamond mind of Buddhagaya. That original orb of superessential light, whose luminous orifice consumes any lingering trace of unwholesome phenomena. Hence, any creeping menace, discursive thought, beneath the sala tree is exterminated. Far easier it is for a trillion constellations to pass through the Aryan gateless gate deliberation, than spending one moment entertaining one foolish thought. In giving birth to conceptual mentations, one reaps the fruit of one's own perdition. Better to vigilantly watch the turning Dharma wheel of the Tathagatas, thereby awakening the true self to the spinning sphere of perfect unborn light. Mystical relinquishment of the discomfort of all dukkha is assured through the splendid purity of one's true self-essence. Thus the gate of the realm of peace will be opened as the pure subtle light of the source absolves its own accidental corruption. Don't displace the trials of another by making them your own responsibility. Your vocation is to awaken to the truth of the deathless Dharma and then to wholeheartedly submit to its unborn will. 13. Purification. Forsake the charnel house with its decay and death, along with images of false hope that dissolve away in the charred smoke of imagination, defiling the Dhammapada. Lay your burden down at the feet of the Tathagatas. Noble wisdom's luminous strength will incur right reliance in the way of deathlessness. Forever halting your habit-forming fix in this Saha realm or any other. Behold the waves of the Vinanas, forever crashing on the forlorn shore of hopelessness. Abandon care unsinking ship and swim to the other shore of deathless suchness. Spring the self-made trap that is always hinging on the brink of destruction. Remain vigilant in unborn light and set yourself free. Soft moonglow shines serenely on the troubled night. The gentle Dharma child likewise illuminates the turbulent mind. The darkened mundane mind cannot see the subtle tranquil light of the Sugata, but the pleasing beautiful eyes of the unborn perceive inconceivable Buddha lands unhindered. Like the phoenix that rises again from its ashes, so do those pure shining noble ones take flight from Avayadic ashes. Unwholesome violation against the deathless Dharma will only guarantee ignoble rebirth. Be generous in sharing the fruits of your unborn labor. Such resolve will be recompensed with the supreme nirvanic vision of Tathagatahood. Far nobler than inheriting the tortured dreams of samsara is awakening with joyful eyes to the purifying stream of parinirvana.